Let's say hello to Tony Boselli right now and say congratulations, the newest Hall of Fame member from right here in Jacksonville. Welcome in, Tony. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good, Joe. Thanks for having me. It's been quite a ride.
Well, I just want you to start off if you can, because I know you guys. This is a special moment for you. I know that Dan and Jeff always want to try and make sure that you have fun when you're on the air, but just a little bit of a sentimental moment here from you just on how special it's been. It's kind of been a whirlwind since the announcement was made.
Yeah, it's Joe, it's one of those things that kind of comes in waves. There's moments that it hits you and you get emotional. Like I was talking a little bit ago about my dad not being here, and he passed away from cancer in 2021, and it was when I didn't get in last year. It was really the only thing that really bothered me about not getting in last year was that there was a good chance my dad wouldn't make it, and so like there's those moments that are like emotional, like in a good way, like people you love, you miss, and you wish they could experience with you, in person with you, and there's moments where it's just elation, because of the family and everyone's excited, and because during this whole process, like the Hall of Fame is the pinnacle of individual awards, but it's in a team sport. And yes, I'm going into Hall of Fame. Yes, it'll be Tony Boselli, Pro Football Hall of Famer, but I view it more about like this is about a lot of people. This is about my wife and my kids. Like they feel like they're a part of it, and I do too. Like they're going to camp. My good friends, like my teammates, the Jacksonville Jaguar organization. Like this is like because I wouldn't be here. The coaches in my life, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame without all of them. And I've always felt like because of the nature of the game of football, like this is a team sport. Like, and so we have success together. And yes, there's individual recognition, but you always have to keep in the context of the people that helped you get there. And so those are like really cool moments. Like we had a big thing at USC last night. That was a cool moment for me. And so I look forward to getting back to Jacksonville, celebrating with teammates. And I thought about my teammates a lot during this process and just the great people I was able to play football with.
Big Bo, congratulations, bro.
Thanks, Big Sir. You're one of them, man.
Nah, bro. This your day, man. I appreciate you. I had some I was just telling the guys earlier that it meant a lot being on the team with you because your game kept my game tight because I knew that the left side was going to always be on point. So it always forced me to play at my pinnacle because if I didn't, I look bad. And I think both of us being at the right side and the left side, our play actually dictated how well the guys interiorly played because we stayed on their ass if they didn't. So I just want to say, man, I don't have any questions for you. I just want to say that congratulations, well-deserved. It was a pleasure playing with you. And in my opinion, no one deserves this even more than yourself.
Thanks, Big Sir. So, yeah, a funny story about when Leon. I remember when Leon came to the team and after the '96 season, he's playing in the dang Super Bowl, and now he's with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm sure going, what the hell's going on here? But I'll never forget. I remember watching Leon practice, and anyone who knows Big Sir has the best punch in the NFL. I mean, he would just kill people with his punch. I mean, people were afraid of it. And I remember watching him, and we would go in practice, and we do one-on-ones, and I watch, and I'm like, man, I got a punch like that. And Leon Searcy almost ruined my career because I tried to punch like what Leon did for about a week, and I didn't block anybody because I couldn't do it. And I realized, and Leon is so right, Leon always pushed me because of how physical he was, and I'm like, I need to be a physical player too, like Leon. And so there's that measuring stick that I think both of us had this healthy competition of wanting to hey, hold up our end of the bargain. But the funny thing is I think Leon almost ruined my career. If I'd have tried to keep on punching like him, I'd have been like, there's no chance. So I finally one day I remember thinking, I'm like, I got to do it my way. Because Leon, I'll never have that damn punch he has, so I'm just not even going to try.
Well, clearly your way worked, man. Congratulations. Hey, Tony, you talked about 2 weeks ago when you found out Anthony Munoz told you Talk about tell us what that was like when you finally found out and the emotions that you had.
Yeah, it was crazy because I had no idea. My wife knew for 10 days because they called her because they had to set up this whole thing of how they were going to do it. And so she's a good liar, which worries me. That's a whole other story. That's a whole other story. And so they surprised me. I opened the door, and there's Anthony Munoz. And Leon will tell you this. I mean, like you talk about, like, when you start talking about offensive line play and offensive tackles in the history of the game, like, Anthony Munoz's name's going to come up, like, number one, or if not number one, number two. Like, you're going to talk about him. And he's an SC guy like me. I mean, he's someone I've looked up to. I've developed a relationship with him over the years. And when I opened the door and saw that he was sitting there with his gold jacket, you know, with his hand out and giving me a big hug saying, "Welcome to the Pro Football Hall of Fame," and then my whole family right behind them, it was like, holy cow, this is amazing. We all have those moments in our lives that are big moments, you know, whether it's the birth of a child, a wedding, you know, whatever it is, you know, moments with your friends. And that will go down, you know, as a memory that will be just hardwired in my brain and just written down for all time. That moment when I opened the door and saw him, it was awesome.
Really cool. A couple more for Tony Boselli before we turn him loose. Our Hall of Famer here in Duval. And Tony, like you said, you had a ton of messages and all sorts of, you know, people coming at you to congratulate you. Is there one that you might mention now that kind of caught you off guard? You're like, wow, that kind of hit you a little bit?
So, Joe, I'm being super, like, honest and transparent on this show right now for everyone. I have, like, over 500 text messages. I haven't looked at any of them.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
Because what happened was, so you go to the honors last night, and I could feel my phone buzzing, like just one message after another. And then from there, we went to the press conference, and then we did, you know, NFL Network, and then we went right to this big party. And then I might have had a couple adult beverages after that, and not a lot of sleep last night, and so I haven't read anything. So I'm sure they're in there. I know there's a long list of people I want to talk to, but I'm sure they're good ones in there, Joe. I just don't know what they are at this point.
Now, Bo, there's going to be a little pressure on you going into the Hall because about 5 years ago, I went to Jerome Bettis' Hall of Fame induction, and the night before the induction, he had an old school hip hop party where he had Slick Rick, you know, Dougie Fresh, and all that kind of stuff. So. I'm not sure what your playlist looks like on Apple, but no pressure on you.
I was a big Slick Rick fan in high school.
Okay, all right. I'm just giving you a little heads up. That's all.
Well, yeah, you need to get with Mrs. Boselli because she'll be the party organizer. I'll have no say in it.
Okay.
It's clear from the party we had last night that that my wife is going to the Hall of Fame with me because there was a number of things that we did last night that were awesome, and I loved everybody, but had my wife's fingerprints all over it, and so will the party in Canton. So, sir, she needs to talk to Mrs. Boselli, and she will take down the list of the playlist to make sure we have the right people there.
That's all I ask. Thank you.
All right, so before you go, Leroy Butler, like maybe it was just. Awesome. I mean, I loved a little bit of the social media that came out, but just touch on that real quick.
You know, so Leroy Butler and I knew him when I played because and they used to come down to this charity basketball thing down here. So I met him when we were players, and we obviously played against each other. But through this Hall of Fame process, we've both been finalists for a number of years, and so we've actually developed even more of a relationship. Our wives got to know each other. And when I got the knock, and it was Anthony Munoz, and you get through all the moment, the excitement, then I asked the question. I said, "Okay, who else made it?" Because I was the last one they let know. And so they told me, and the one name, if I'm being honest, that I wanted to hear was Leroy Butler. I wanted him to make it with me at the same time because of, number one, I think he was one of the best safeties ever played the game if anyone watched him. And he's a Jacksonville guy. Yeah. And I love Jacksonville. That's my home. And so I root for people from Jacksonville. And to have two, I joked with the media. I said, Leroy, he's a natural son of Jacksonville. He's a son of Jacksonville. Grew up there, raised there. I'm an adopted son of Jacksonville. It's my home now. So you have the natural son and the adopted son of Jacksonville both making the Pro Football Hall of Fame at the same time. And I was so excited for him and so happy for him. And I told Leroy, I said, hey, man, we're going to have a large party in Jacksonville and in Duval style. So we'll do something. But, Joe, it was awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, having him a part of it.
Yeah, I do like that. I'm such a fan of Leroy's and the great story from all the way back under Corky Rogers. Just such a good dude. Leave us with this one thought, because everyone says when Tony gets in, then maybe Freddie, then maybe Jimmy. Just one thought for Jaguar fans on that.
I'm biased. I mean, I love those guys. I mean, I think Fred Taylor is one of the most underappreciated, undervalued players in the history of the game. I mean, I really do. And I'm sure there's a handful of others people know about. I just can't think of them. But when I played, and in the era of there was a lot of great backs, I wouldn't trade any of them for Fred Taylor. I wouldn't trade him.
Yeah.
I mean, the type of player he was and who he was as a teammate, and Sirs will tell you he made us look good because we didn't have to be perfect with Freddie T. We had to get on a guy and stay on him, and he would do the rest. And so I hope I hope there's a pathway. I hope it's cleared. I hope he gets recognized because I think he deserves it. I mean, Jimmy Smith, you go ask any of the great players, any of the great corners who played in our era, and ask them if they look forward to playing man-to-man against Jimmy Smith.
Yeah.
Because none of them can cover him. And I know for a fact that when we went into games that our game plan with Fred and Jimmy in there is like we'd line up at the line of scrimmage and it would be a check with me. If it was 7 in the box, we were going to run the ball because they weren't going to stop us. Mm-hmm. If they dropped the safety down and they were going to go man outside against Jimmy, we were throwing to Jimmy.
It's an unbelievable combo. I mean, that's what we so desperately want around here, that's for sure. Yeah. All right, listen, go enjoy it. We know that you want to be with your family. I have to bring the 71 back out so you can put the HOFer on there. Will you do that for me?
I have to change my signature. That's the other thing I've been told. Like, you have to change. No more Tony Boselli 71. It's just Tony Boselli HOF. So that will be. I'll have to get used to that.
Yeah, there you go. Well, listen, enjoy it. Congratulations, and this is really from all of Duval. Heck of a career, and finally recognized. Congratulations.
Guys, thanks for having me. Big Sirs, love you. Thanks for just amazing teammate. And you and I will definitely we'll have to crack a cigar and have a little bit of and celebrate together.
Absolutely, bro. Love you, brother.
Love you, man. Thanks.